Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. The tri-state area's largest supplier of winter cleanup products, from rock salt to Pelledo to Mag ice pellets and flakes. And of course, if you need a new snow blower or snow shovels, spreaders, whatever it is that make your home clean and safe, you can head over to Omni. They're at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. The phone number is 631-756-1125, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. We've got a round of severe weather. This has been a month of severe weather. We had major outbreaks with tornadoes back a couple of weeks ago. Not saying we're going to see a repeat performance of that today, but across the deep south, we are seeing a marginal risk of severe weather extending down to the Gulf Coast and then increasing to a slight risk as you head in through Alabama and northern Georgia. And then we have an area of enhanced risk that covers southeastern Arkansas and then moves across northern Mississippi, southern Tennessee, and northern Alabama. The tornado risk is high, 10% of a tornado within 25 miles of any point inside that zone. And you can see there's a larger, obvious 5% tornado risk that exists across mostly in the area that we see the slight risk of severe weather today. This is part of the next round of storm systems that are going to be impacting eventually the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast as we go through the weekend. And then for tomorrow, it kind of relaxes a little bit as we have a marginal risk from North Carolina down to the Florida Panhandle and over into southeastern Louisiana. But then the risk area is going to pick up again. And I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if we wind up seeing another enhanced risk out of this. But you can see this is for Friday into Saturday morning, the slight risk from southeastern Oklahoma across Arkansas into western half of Tennessee, southern Kentucky, the marginal risk extending into the central Appalachians. No thunderstorm risk Friday into Saturday in the Northeast. And rare that you see it at this time of year, but it's happened a couple of times this month. But on the day 4 time frame, which is Saturday into Sunday, we have a very large 15% risk area being indicated, and I'm thinking that this definitely is going to wind up being increased to 30%, that we may have another round of enhanced severe weather to deal with it. And again, this is all going to be part of what's going on with respect to the weather as we go through the weekend and into early next week along the eastern seaboard. Meanwhile, one of the things about this time of year when temperatures are warm, it's usually with a lot of clouds. You don't often have nice weather days in the wintertime unless you have a big ridge built up along the eastern seaboard, and we don't quite have that. But we do have a lot of clouds that extend off the coast and then go back through the Great Lakes and down into Oklahoma and Texas. And you can also see the beginnings of some heavy rains and some thunderstorms that are going to be developing on the radar. Here's the latest radar view. I'll give it a quick refresh because we're coming up on 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So we're already seeing some pockets of heavy rain and thunderstorms in northern Alabama, northeastern Mississippi, and then also seeing some heavy rains coming out of Oklahoma and into Arkansas, all of it moving to the east. Meanwhile, up here in the Northeast, a little bit of light shower activity crossing central and south Jersey, southern Pennsylvania, down into northern Delaware. Not a whole lot happening once you go northern New Jersey, New York City to the Hudson Valley and southern New England. It's just cloudy for the most part, and that's, I think, how we're going to play it for the rest of the day. In terms of rainfall amounts, we're looking at, over the next 7 days, a half to 3/4 of an inch from eastern New England down through southern New England, the Hudson Valley, across New Jersey and Pennsylvania, down into northern Virginia, and you start to get amounts that are going to be higher as you head into southern New Jersey and point south Across Virginia, North Carolina, we're talking about 1.5 inches plus, and we're talking about several inches or more in northern Georgia, northeastern Alabama, eastern Tennessee, and even in western Tennessee. And that's going to be convectively driven. So obviously, thunderstorms are going to really determine how much rain somebody gets. And we continue to see several to many inches of precip up and down the west coast, and that's where all the cold air is. So we know certainly in the mountainous areas over the next 7 days, the seemingly endless heavy snows are going to continue. So we've got the new GFS with respect to what's going on. And we have this weak system going out underneath us today. Tomorrow, still some residual moisture. We're not exactly in a position here where we can actually allow skies to clear out. And we're setting up for this stronger low that is moving out of Oklahoma and heading into Tennessee. Now, interestingly enough, the track of the low, at least initially now, seems to be coming out a little further south with these runs. And I think that's something we probably should pay a little attention to as we move through the weekend and into next week. Snow across Kansas, northern Missouri, Iowa, southeastern Nebraska into northern Illinois. Now, there's going to be two lows here. The first low is going to run up to our west. And you see it there sitting in eastern, off the coast of Massachusetts. And that is going to bring rain through here Saturday and through the area Saturday from northern Virginia to southern New England. And then the low moves out. We get a little bit of a break. And then we have this lagging trough, and you see it here, this lagging front and another wave that is going to develop on it. And the thing with these types of systems is you have to have them really set up almost perfectly, where you get the cold air coming in as the wave goes by. In this particular instance, the GFS on today's run, as opposed to last night's run, which was trying to show something offshore and colder, now has a low up in New York State and up into northern New England with a weather front and maybe a change over to snow before ending Sunday night into Monday morning. It doesn't amount to much. It's a shot of cold air behind it. It's not especially cold, but it's a cold shot nonetheless. So it's going to be all about timing. My general gut feeling about these things is that 99 times, well, maybe not that high, but let's say at the very least 9 times out of 10, you wind up with the lows and the waves going by to your north, and that the southern system essentially gets, kind of squashed and left over. And that's sort of what I think the model's been doing, even though on alternate runs, we've been seeing different things. And I want to give you a quick look, by the way, at the European model from last night. And this is courtesy, by the way, of Pivotal Weather. If I can bring up the 0Z run, which is what I want. So let's see if we can do that. And yes, so here we go. This was the overnight run of the European. And the European has been insisting that this is all going to be driven more by something in the northern stream rather than a system that's going to amplify, having the first low go by and then getting some cold air in here and having a second low amplify as it goes by. And you'll see here, the models were, they're fairly similar in the idea of a low coming out of the southern plains. That is going to be, pretty much a given. There's your rain for Saturday. There's your first wave that goes across southern New England to eastern Massachusetts. There's your second low back in Ohio. And here, too, the European just kind of squashes it in terms of any kind of development as it moves to the east. It just really becomes more of a simple cold front that comes through late in the day Sunday into Sunday night. And then the bottom line is that the cold air just shuts off and we don't see a thing. I'm still going to lean toward that idea. We, again, keep seeing these alternate runs that are going in one direction or another, where they're opposite of the prior run, and they show a coastal low, and it's colder. I just think that is a little bit of a stretch as far as being in our forecast going forward, at least for the time being. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. So we're going to have the Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. If you didn't get a chance to see it last night, we had Bill Goodman on from the Weather Service. Excuse me. And he had a few interesting things to say with regard to the long range. I don't think he said anything particularly shocking, but he does offer his own opinion about what we can expect going forward. So if you go to my YouTube channel and just go to the playlists and play last night's video, you can watch it in its entirety if you wish. So we'll see you tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time.